Flowers appear at the graves of our dearly departed. Flowers appear at the doorsteps of those who are grieving. Flowers appear at the sites of unspeakable tragedies. Mountains of flowers spring up amidst the tears. It's our instinctive practice to make offerings of beauty where there is pain and loss and suffering and hardship. And these offerings of beauty, at their best, are not attempting to erase the experience of pain and of ugliness. They are, in fact, acts of reaching out to embrace each other through hardship. Making little offerings of beauty are ways to bring love and care and solidarity, where we may otherwise be at a total loss and retreat into isolation, powerless to do or change anything about the distress and fear and loss with someone we care about, even with strangers. So finding beauty, making beauty, sharing beauty through experiences of hardship is an exercise of faith. It is a spiritual practice. And I invite us to honor this as an offering, and one of the ways that we can exercise our faith and our love for each other. Making offerings of beauty is a way of honoring the reality of suffering, expressing love through pain and through hardship, and keeping our view open to the truth that beauty and goodness still yet survive by the grace of God. So last week I shared about the practice of service, little acts of service, daily direct acts of service for others for the greater good, however modest, are not only good in and of themselves, but also good as a way of turning away from the temptation to despair, of exercising faith. Even if we don't feel like it, we exercise our faith in a God who loves and embraces and transcends this often broken and brutal and beautiful world. Those little acts of service help us. And today I offer the practice of beauty, finding beauty, making beauty, sharing beauty, however we can. In daily ways, in simple ways, in grand, outrageous ways. The practice of beauty is a way that any of us can keep the faith through thick and thin. And sometimes that's all we can do. So our faith, after all, is a resurrection faith, one that finds heartbreakingly transcendent beauty in something as ugly and unbearable and evil as the cross. For we know that through Christ, God sees and embraces the world's pain and nurses resurrected life out of the grave. So this is the kind of beauty that is the opposite of superficial. I mean, just think of the music that moves you the most deeply. That's the most breathtakingly beautiful. And I'm willing to bet it's not just bubblegum pop. I'm willing to bet that it brings tears. Maybe even tears you didn't know you had. It brings up emotions that are deeper than words, drawing out our most profound sadness and our most exultant joy as well. It doesn't leave us where it found us. It can be a prayerful act, the most powerful music in our lives. Music at its best, in the words of the Christian philosopher Cornel West, is the grand archaeology into and transfiguration of our guttural cry, or guttural cry, archaeology into that guttural cry, and transfiguration of it. The great human effort to grasp in time with the most temporal of the arts our deepest passions and yearnings as prisoners of time. Profound music leads us beyond language to the dark roots of our scream and the celestial heights of our silence. And we know it when we hear it, right? We know it when we witness art like this, the great works of art that draw from being fully awake and fully feeling through all the agony and ecstasy of life in this exquisite and uncertain world. And for me, that's John Coltrane's Love Supreme. Just one note, and you know he's singing out from those depths. Or it's Brandi Carlile's The Joke. I'm getting shivers right now just remembering that. You know it. She's got it. She's singing out from those depths. Or Pablo Casal's playing Bach's cello suites on the cello. Or if you read aloud a passage from James Baldwin. Or if you stand before a Renoir. You know it. There's this transfiguration of the depths of human experience. Deep calls to deep, as one of the poets said in our scripture. So what works of art stir this for you? And what's really going on there? We are blessed with an overabundance of great acts from those who have wrung beauty from the brief and heartbreaking passage of life. And so can we. We don't have to be virtuosos to do this. And we don't have to be virtuosos to appreciate it either. But we just have to be sincere enough or desperate enough. Find beauty wherever you can. For the love of God. Make beauty however you can. Share beauty with whomever you can. And I just love the ways that people leave little acts of beauty for others to find. You know, little prayer rocks, or little pieces of art, or little words that may speak a message that a stranger needs to hear. We just have to let a moment of beauty catch us and bring us to our knees. We just have to put our heart into the work of sawing and whittling away and sanding away to make something true and good. We just have to be willing to pull someone else in to share that beauty with and say, look at that, wow. So this is good for our hearts. However it is for us to do, however it is with our souls, it is good for our hearts to make or find or share moments of beauty with whatever time we are given, however brief. God has made everything beautiful in its time, in the words of the book of Ecclesiastes. And the wise person who wrote this said this just after a pretty raw assessment of just reasons we have to despair and to be anxious. God has made everything beautiful in its time, and God has set eternity into the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. All things pass, all things change and flow away. And there can be so much pain in this world, so much bitterness and blindness and futility and brutality and vengeance, so many distorted priorities, so many deluded attempts to find happiness at other people's expenses, at our own. So much seeking satisfaction where you just can't get no satisfaction. And yet every morning, the God of all creation, it's like the God of all creation says anew, let there be song to fill the air. Every morning, tiny songbirds call out their clear notes with all the strength of their tough little bodies. So, for the love of God, find beauty wherever you can. Make beauty however you can. Share beauty with whomever you can. This is a spiritual practice. This is an exercise of our faith. And this is one thing that we are always seeking to do as when we gather for worship, to make beautiful moments and to share that together as an exercise of faith, as a reminder that God has set eternity in our hearts. So last week, after the sermon that I shared, several of you shared with me that it was helpful. I love hearing this. Oh, yes. Just going out and picking up some litter. Actually, it's good for my heart. It gets me out of my sense of dread and despair. Just a little act can lead to something much bigger. I'm just doing the right thing that's right in front of you. However small, you can start small, make it doable, make it regular, make it a practice. Like picking up trash, whether you're feeling like it or not, just do it. And so the practice I encourage from this week is the practice of beauty. It can be small, it can be big, but make it regular. Find beauty wherever you can, make beauty however you can, share beauty with whomever you can. Start small, even with appreciating what it is that you're already doing, and appreciating how beauty happens in our lives. Acts of service, acts of love, acts of care, acts of solidarity. This is beautiful, right? Make it doable. Make it regular, make it a practice, and something bigger will grow. Loveliness is everywhere, writes the Scottish poet Kenneth White. The loveliness is everywhere, even in the ugliest and most hostile environment. The loveliness is everywhere, at the turning of a corner, in the eyes and on the lips of a stranger, in the empty areas where there is no place for hope, and only death invites the heart. The loveliness is there. It emerges, incomprehensible, inexplicable. It rises in its own reality. And what we must learn is how to receive it into ours. And so above earth's lamentation, may we catch the sweet though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, may we hear the music ringing, may it find an echo in our soul. How can we keep it singing? Thanks be to God.